Do you want me to get on?
Encounter. Let's go, Black Typhoon. Whoosh!
Is that it?
I think so. It certainly looks whale-like.
Wow, you've got good eyes.
Naturally, I don't wear these glasses to look pretty.
Commander, is that our target? How should we proceed? Okay, but how?
I know I always say my firepower could pierce a hole in the sky, but that's just a figure of speech.
We're not equipped to shoot down such a large transport aircraft. At least not one at that altitude.
What is that thing anyway?
Codename Queen Whale. It's a massive transport aircraft that's been in use since the first Rapture invasion.
That long? It must be really old then.
Correct.
Shouldn't we be calling it Ancient Queen Whale then?
Yeah, that's, real funny.
Rappy, the least you could do is pretend like it was funny.
How highly humorous.
Thank you.
It's clear that Queen Whale is still in service. It can transport large quantities of materials by flying at high altitudes. It's still capable of its primary functions. That's why it's still active. Not many of them were shot down during the initial invasion either.
Alright then, allow me to repeat my question from before. Master, what's our next course of action?
Aren't you being a tad unrealistic? How can we possibly take down something that's way up there? How come we're chasing after this thing anyway? Aren't we supposed to be looking for Vaphouse?
Yeah, we already used the only bullet we had on that big red meanie.
And that didn't even work out. Sure, it looked like it hurt like the dickens, but it certainly didn't kill her.
Yeah, I thought it'd cause a lot more damage, and she'd be screaming stuff like, "No, I can't die! This can't be the final resting place for a mighty heretic!"
Anise, Neon.
Oh, sorry. Was my acting a bit off?
No, it was spot on. Anyway, I hate to break up the fun. And while it is nice sitting here watching a flying whale up in the sky, we have more important things to take care of.
As a matter of fact, I'm rather curious myself, Commander. Is there any reason in particular that we're attempting to take down the Queen Whale?
What did you say? It's possible, at least in theory. But I already told you, once you obtain that power, there will be a whole lot of other people wanting to get their hands on it. You're someone of particular interest to the Ark. I would be fine with all of this if you weren't intending on using the bullets, but you are. You will be detected the moment you use that Vaphouse. The entire Ark will know about it. It looks like there's no use trying to change your mind. Very well. If you insist on throwing yourself into the fire, I won't stop you. To be perfectly frank, this piques my interest as well. It's not every day you get a chance to make a Vaphouse bullet. I will need something, however. Yes. You need to catch something for me. Codename Queen Whale.
Hey, Commander, are you listening to me?
Wowee,
the Commander's keeping secrets.
I knew it. This happens whenever someone starts dating.
Well, I suppose everyone living in the Ark has at least one or two dirty secrets.
I understand. I won't pry any further. I still say there's no way we can bring down the Queen Whale. Unless you have a plan? Understood. Let's move.
Why aren't Papillon and Dorothy here?
I hear Papillon is down with a cold.
Good grief. She could at least have the decency to come up with a half-decent lie.
I suppose Dorothy is feeling fatigued as well.
Go figure.
Is it okay for those two to be left alone?
Are you worried about them?
I'm worried about everything except those two.
I see. Well, don't worry. Right now, each of them wants something from the other, but neither side is willing to budge an inch. They're not going anywhere.
Perfect. I can try out this new product. Hindrance to business detected. Removing now. Cover me. Hindrance to business. Playtime's over. Let's finish this. Now.
I'll be ready in a jiffy.
Hindrance to business.
Playtime's over. Let's finish this.
Now.
An apple a day keeps the raptures away.
Correct. I did some experiments with the Vophouse components found in your blood. I wanted to determine if it could be implemented into offensive weapons, including bullets, or defensive equipment like armor. Unfortunately, every attempt resulted in failure. The components that make up Vophouse disintegrate once they're synthesized with metal. They simply do not mix, and I can't ascertain the exact reason since the sample was so small. It's incompatible with Goddessium as well. I even tried combining it with Rapture parts, but everything ended in failure. The only thing I was able to produce were bullets that contained your blood, but not the Vophouse. It's like something out of a bad horror novel. The only thing they'd be good for is putting a hex on someone. That's exactly what I'm saying. At the very least, it can't be combined with any commonly used metals. Is that so? I assume you used the military scanner on it? Those scanners only pick up materials used by the military. The main component of that Vophouse bullet is something not used by the military. In fact, it's something you can't necessarily use in the strictest sense of the word. Human cells. The Vophouse is flowing in your bloodstream. To test my theory, I attempted to synthesize the Vophouse with human cells. The result? I ended up with something that could be considered a bullet, in the broadest sense of that word. If you must know, I used some of mine. Would you like me to tell you where I extracted them from? Anyway, the Vopel's bullet I ended up with is unfortunately a bullet in name only. It's not nearly as durable as metal, so it can't withstand the initial explosion when being fired. You wouldn't make a dent in the body of a heretic, or even an ordinary NIKKE. You could use reinforced plastic, or several other new materials instead. But that won't make much of a difference. That's where Queen Whale comes in. During the first Rapture invasion, the Raptures didn't have a semi-permanent power source like they do now. The power source they did have had to be continually charged. What do you think they used to accomplish that? That's right. Living things, humans and animals to be precise.